We've got a video coming up on Thursday, which I'm very excited about, and I'm honoured to have been asked to be involved in. We've got a slightly separate video coming up today involving the same people, but the big deal, the big video is on Thursday. So set your reminders, do whatever you need to do. We're going to release it on a podcast as well, which will be featured on Hammers United's website. We'll also put it on a Hammers Chat Patreon. Don't worry, it'll be free. We'll just put it on there because we've got a sort of audio player. So if you don't want to watch the video, you want to listen to it when you're driving your car, you can do so on that as well. Why am I so excited about it? Why am I so honoured? Well, it's very, very different because we've got Paul Colborne, aka Bubbles, of Hammers United, who you've seen on this channel before, and Bill Gardner, the legend, the West Ham legend that is Bill Gardner, who has, well, clearly never been on this channel before. He doesn't do much of this type of thing, and well, you've all read his book, and if you don't know about Bill, then have a little Google search maybe before the video on Thursday, and you'll know a lot more about him. And in fact, you could do a lot worse than going and having a look at Sex Drug Carlton Cole's fantastic YouTube interview with him, which I'll link in the description below, which gives a great insight into Bill and his history with West Ham. The video itself is really heartfelt stuff from a couple of people who have done the miles with West Ham, have done the hard yards, and have so many stories to tell, talking about the past, present and future of West Ham United, and of course Hammers United's involvement in it. For this video, this is not the main one, by the way. I just thought it'd be a little bit cheeky of me, a little bit rude, if whilst I was there filming the main interview, if I didn't just sit them down and get their thoughts on the current management, on the current academy, and of course that fantastic equaliser from Manuel Lanzini against Tottenham.
I don't think we played great, actually, but we showed heart, we showed guts, we never gave up, and obviously the goal was a worldie. And it's great when a goal like that goes in. Usually it's Gareth Bale up the other end, isn't it? So yeah, it's brilliant, and we've done a lot better than what we ever expected.
Did you brick it when Bale came on? Oh, we were already down by that point.
I've seen it all before, mate. When players come back, it's never the same. They're not the same player. They're blimey, no, not at all. But I have to say, Harry Kane was a good player, wasn't he?
He is good.
We got some good players. West Ham's problem is simple. West Ham fans, me included, over the years, mate, we're always the same. We think of our first 11. Yeah, he's good, he ain't bad. You know, we've got a good 11 there. Premier League, mate, you have two for every position. And we've really got to do what we done when we came third. I think we only used about 14 players. We need a year like that. We don't need any injuries and we do okay.
Well, Wolves did that relatively recently, and they did all right. Who stood out for you, Bill, in that game?
I think, like Paul said, a great fight back. Don't happen too much in our history. I felt that Bonner done a decent job at the back. I thought that Declan done all right in midfield. Obviously, the two Czech lads have come in, fitted in like they've been there for years. It was decent comeback. I mean, you won't see that very often. I mean, half time I nearly put the control panel through the television. I was so pissed off. When they brought Bow on, that was a mistake they made because he brought him on to score the fourth goal on his second debut, and it backfired. Instead of bringing on a centre half or another midfield player and sewing it up, they could have hung on to the 3-0. But Mourinho made a big mistake. The special one wasn't so special yesterday for me. I think that was I've run football teams for many years, and what he did was wrong. You know, you sew it up at the back. You don't. You know, you've got the game won. 3-0 is a good Premier League victory. He went for 4 to take the piss, and it backfired on him. Lanzini, is it a great goal? Lanzini, I feel sorry for him. He's had a couple of years where people have been on his case. He's had bad injuries. But all in all, as West Ham fans, we've got to be absolutely delighted that. For me, it was more like a victory than a draw.
Yeah,
it would have felt like a loss to Tottenham. I did think when Bale came on, he wasn't the young kids that left, or that, you know, as you alluded to, that left to go to Real Madrid. And the way he came on, and I know it's what Ronaldo does, but the way he addressed that free kick, he stood there with his legs astride to say, I've got this, don't worry about it, fellas.
He's a quality player, and he'll score a lot of goals for Tottenham. I believe that the service he'll get, I mean, their forward line is, I believe, is as good as any forward line in the world. You know, and let's get it right, the Korean lad, what would we do to have him in our forward line? Great player. Pacey, he's got everything.
Spurs played some brilliant 1- and 2-touch football, and West Ham come away with a draw. It was great. I mean, this man's been going longer than me. I'm sure there's been others, but how often in the 50, 60 years have we been going, I know Leicester away we've done it. How often have West Ham been 3-0 down and come back to 3-all? I remember Leicester away a long while ago. We don't make a habit of it, do we?
No.
Well, I thought the two results before that were very un-West Ham. To beat someone 4-0, then in a which we've always had in our locker, to beat someone well, but on the next game to beat another good team 3-0. I mean, it's...
Just don't hope that West Ham fans don't think, oh, now that we've had 2 wins and a great draw at Tottenham, that all our problems are solved, because they're not. We've had these sort of games every season. We've been in the Premier League. We have a little run of good games, and then back to earth again, back to the tross we have. No disrespect to you, mate.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Bill's right. All we can do is enjoy it. The Leicester performance was great. The worry is the squad's thin.
Yeah.
And as an old man, I look to the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Yeah.
And I just so hope that we go for, if we played like we've been playing, we could go a long way in the FA Cup. But you just worry that the squad's so thin that they'll sort of throw it. Well, let's hope not.
Do you think, I think I like Moyes. I like Moyes because I think he brings a bit of stability. I think we've chopped and changed. Well, obviously the ground, which we're going to discuss in the video coming up in a couple of days, the training grounds, managers. I think we do need a bit of stability. I think we need a solid manager. He might not be Ron Greenwood, granted, but a bit of stability there. But I think he is doing a good job, but obviously doing a good job in spite. He's doing it with little or no support in that.
Listen, I've never had a problem with Moyes because, to me, he's just a journeyman manager. He is what he is. He does his best. Apparently the players like him. I've no problem with him.
no, I ain't.
You like Lanzini? Pleased to see that? Or
I'm pleased to see any West Ham player score a goal, let alone like that. Yeah, I like Lanzini's a quality player, but he's not been playing well. He's had a terrible injury. You have to remember that. I mean, look at Joe, you know, other famous players we've had. Alan Devonshire come back from an injury and was still a brilliant player, but he wasn't quite as good. You know, these players have these injuries and some of them are never the same again. But yeah, great goal. It's really, really good. Really good. You asked me last year if West Ham would go down. Because a lot of people said last year they'd go down. And I said they won't go down last year. So they'd go down next year. And
still believe that?
Well, I have to say I don't. No, they've played a lot better than I expected if they keep away from the injuries.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a paper thin squad. It's strong in certain areas.
I felt we needed 7 players in the window. I don't think Fabianski is as good as he was. I think the injury has took his toll on him. He doesn't look the same player for me. I think we need another quality goalkeeper. The fullback we've sorted on the right side. Left side, maybe we need one. We need somebody a bit more creative. And I still believe we might need another striker. I mean, all Premier clubs have 4 strikers, don't they? 3 goalkeepers. We've got, Fabianski and Randolph, who's in his twilight years, does a decent job. But I felt we needed squad players, up and coming young lads that maybe that have got potential from perhaps the Championship or Division 1 where they've looked at them. But the main signing I think we should have is somebody, a scout that's going to go out and get these young players like the bloke did at Brentford. What a great job he's done, the Brentford bloke.
We should sign him. We should just sign him.
That should be a major signing because if he can bring that type of player into us, we'll do well. And what our board have got to notice is that once we bring these people in, players that he got, they're sold for profits. Not like where we buy all these old timers when they're finished with us, that's it. You know, we want up and coming youngsters that we can sell on and make a bit of money out of. You know, and good luck to them if they want to go on. I mean, as West Ham fans, you hope your best players always stay with you, but it's a profession and they've got to go and look. They can get more money somewhere else or they can win a trophy. I mean, that's at the end. That's the fear I have with Declan. I know his family well, and the boy wants to win. He wants to win something. I can't see Declan being a Mark Noble and stay all them years without winning anything. No. Declan wants to win, and I say that as a person, you ain't going to get a better person than that lad. When we went to Germany a few years ago, he got on the coach. He shook everyone's hand on the coach and thanked everyone for going over there. And when Dennis was here, we went round Dennis's house, and I know it broke Dennis's heart, but that was a great thing for him to do. And for me, I wish him the well. And if he goes to Chelsea, good luck to him. I say good luck to the lad. go and win a few things, earn yourself some money, you know.
I think it's inevitable he'll go, possibly in January, depending on our league position, but certainly next summer. But who can blame him? And he could easily have made rumblings and they'd have been forced to sell him. I don't go every week on the Hornchurch coach. Obviously, for 2 years, I've not been at all. But they tell me that they pull into a pub for a drink en route. And often Declan's mum and dad are on the coach, and they always buy the first round, apparently.
Declan's mum and dad are super people. They're really nice people, you know. I don't think there's no love between them and Sullivan, in all fairness to you. I go out to America with them. I've been out 2 years in the last 3 when we go out Christmas time, and you know, we meet up in the pub over there with the New York Hammers.
Oh, Smithfield.
And they are Smithfield, and they are really nice people, Declan's mum and dad. She kicks every ball. She's unbelievable. She's like my Sarah does with our boys. She kicks every ball, you know what I mean? You see it every header she's going up. We're sitting at the table having some chicken wings. I thought she was going to fucking take off. She's leapt. She's come up like she's going to hit the ball, you know. But not lovely, lovely people, you know. Genuine family. They really are. And like I say, I wish him well. I'd like him to stay with us.
No,
but at the end of the day, I want to hold back somebody to have success.
No, and as Bill says, and the job has to be, if you're just looking at it, running a successful football club and business, that as Declan unfortunately leaves, there's someone else there, another young lad to take his place.
Well, yeah. If your academy's set up accordingly, I mean, I also do think, you know, it gets compared unfairly with Noble, because I think Noble was around at a good time for Noble, because Noble's basically been around when West Ham have been crap. Yeah. So, you know, Noble went getting 500 appearances, you know, 20 years ago and so on and so forth. But I also think that had Noble have been as good as Declan, would Noble have stayed around? Probably not. No, if Chelsea and Man United and these teams were coming in for him.
The academy, I mean, I went and saw the under-23s play a couple of times last year. We've got a good lad who comes from Suffolk way, plays in midfield, looks decent. Forget his name, decent though. We've got a decent goalkeeper there, looks good. We've got to have somebody to revamp the academy. For me, both my boys played in the academy when they was younger, and to be fair, if I wouldn't have been a West Ham fan, I wouldn't have kept my boys there longer than 2 weeks. We turned up one game, the manager was late. He turned up, the kit was damp. He's asked me to pump the balls up. I'm a dad bringing my boy for his first game. I've ended up having to pump the balls up now. If I'd have been a Tottenham fan and my boy was half decent, and then my boys were both half decent, but they was released, one because he was too small, and one because they found out his dad was Bill Gardner, not James Bracken. Once they found out I was his dad, that didn't do me a lot of favours all them years ago. Didn't do him many favours. But he's gone on to be a manager in his own right in semi-professional football, and I'm happy with that. But when I turned up there, and I couldn't believe that the manager was late, and they've got some great people over at that academy, but they've also got a few people there that I think really wouldn't get a job running a Sunday league team.
Right.
We need somebody in there who's going to totally revamp it. Somebody who's going to bring in good up-and-coming young coaches, you know, not mates are there. I mean, I scouted. I was a scout for 5 years. Wycombe Wanderers. I was their Surrey and Sussex scout. When Wycombe Wanderers played Newcastle in the FA Youth Cup, we lost 1-0 to Newcastle, and 9 of them boys were what I took there.
Right.
So from around this area, Surrey and Sussex. And we just need somebody who's going to totally revamp it so we can start getting them boys in again that we had years ago.
Yeah.
You know, your Ferdinands, your Lampards. But they're a lovely little club. They're a family club, you know what I mean, Wycombe. Yeah. But, you know, even then, things are done wrong at these clubs. People that run these clubs are some of them are a bit artless in the way they get rid of kids, you know?
Yeah.
I had nine boys at one stage I had there, and the academy director went round and he went, "We want you, and you, and the rest of you we don't want." And I said to him afterwards, after I took them boys home and they was tearing up in the back of the car and all this, and I said to him, "There's got to be a better way of doing it than the way you're doing it." And he said, "What way would you do it?" I said, "I'd say, look lads, we had a look at you, we don't think you're up to it at the moment, but go away and we'll monitor you, and if you improve and you meet the criteria we need, we'll have another look at you. I said, give people hope. He said, you're giving them false hope. I said, you can never give anyone false hope, mate. Simple as that. Ada, his name was, his first name, I remember. But it was an artless bastard. And you see these kids that are rushed out of school, they've had little bowls of food, what their mum and dads have done them in the back of the car. You know what I mean? It's hard. When a kid goes to an academy, it's not just a kid, it's his mum and dad that have to put up with it. The work involved, making sure his kit's all clean, his boots are clean, especially if they're young, you know? And I don't know, I found it heartless. I thought it could have been done a lot better. West Ham was a bit better than that, in all fairness. But football in general, I think that it could be a lot better, for me anyway.
I don't know if you heard the Tony Adams story, just talking about West Ham's academy wasn't good enough. I know we're going back a lot of time, but Tony Adams from Dagenham, I think, quite possibly, and he went to West Ham, and then
I thought he was Romford.
You may well be right, but he was certainly West Ham, and then he went there, and then he got one look at Arsenal, and their facilities were loads better. And obviously that's years and years ago. And again, like I said with David Moyes, I think what he's doing is in spite of support from the board. Yeah. I do feel any success the academy are having is in spite of it. And you're always going to be swimming against the tide when you're looking at Chelsea's academy over at Cobham, when you're looking at what Leicester are doing, £150 million complex, and then we're boasting about spending $4 million. Yeah. You know this, when you take your kids to see a club, that's your showcase, isn't it? The training ground, you want to show it off and say, look, it's what we can do with your kids.
Couple of West Ham, tubby Friars porter cabins.
Do you know, went over Arsenal the other week with the flag before West Ham played over Arsenal, and it upset me. Just standing at the ground in the street, the whole thing was different. And they've got these plaque things like we have, memorial plaques, and they're sort of shiny and glossy. So there's kids there on skateboards, skidding and scratching and everything. And these plaques, so I looking at them, they were shiny and bright and clear and immaculate and new. And you go over West Ham, and there's no one skateboarding over them, and they're all knackered.
Yeah,
and it just sort of sums it up. And it upset me going over Arsenal that day, because the ground we had the flag and we were on the main road, and the ground was on the main road, and ours is Tracy Island, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was just, it upset me. I thought, why can't we be like this? This is a proper football club. You know?
Yeah, well, Arsenal have always been classy. Yeah, but the marble halls are not. They've always been a little bit classy.
Kids used to turn up for the academy games. The Arsenal boys used to turn up. Their kit was immaculate. They didn't have like the old nylon shit. It was like cotton, really good quality stuff. And our lads used to come out in their, cheap kit, what they got. And unbelievable. As a West Ham fan, you think, well, this is us. This is our biscuit.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair
we're West Ham fans. You're proud of it. There wasn't a day I wasn't proud going through that gates with my kids.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
All you West Ham fans out there, you've got to join Hammers United, because the more we have, the more we can do. The more people that join up, we got more leverage. And at the end, if we get everyone signed up, they'll go. And if you want a winning team and you want to do well, you've got to make this move. It's going to cost you nothing. But what you do is you think with your heart instead of your head. Join us.